My name is Margaret. I am 78 years old now, but there are nights when I still wake up drenched in sweat, haunted by the memories of my past. People see me today as a quiet grandmother, sitting by the window with my knitting, but they don't know the truth. They don't know what I saw, what I lived through, or why I still tremble whenever I hear footsteps in the dark. It was the middle of the night when Anna shook me awake. She was only 15 then, her face pale and her hands shaking. Her whisper cut through the silence like a knife. "We can't stay here. If we don't leave tonight, it'll be too late." Her words pierced me. I knew what she meant. We had uncovered the darkest secret a family could carry. Our father, the man who was supposed to protect us, had betrayed his own child. Anna was carrying his baby. And our mother wasn't horrified. She wasn't protective. Instead, she had her own plan. She wanted to sell the child before it was even born. The weight of it was unbearable. That night, as Anna stood trembling beside me, I knew we couldn't wait any longer. We had to run. We grabbed what little we could carry: bread, a flask of water, and a thin blanket. Each creak of the floorboards felt like thunder as we tiptoed across the room, praying our parents wouldn't wake. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure it would betray us. When we finally stepped out into the night, the air was cold, sharp, and heavy with silence. We didn't know where we were going, only that we couldn't stay. With every step we took away from that house, I felt both terror and freedom. But as the shadows of the night wrapped around us, I couldn't shake the question. Had we escaped too late? Stay with me, where I'll take you back to the beginning. The signs we missed, the lies we believed, and the moment everything shattered. When I think back now, I realize the signs were there all along. We just didn't want to see them. Father was strict, but there were moments when his gaze lingered on Anna in ways that made my skin crawl. At first, I dismissed it as my imagination. He was our father after all. Who could suspect such evil within the man who taught us to ride bicycles and read bedtime stories? But as Anna grew older, he grew more controlling. He insisted she stay close to home, forbade her from seeing boys, and demanded her silence on matters that didn't concern her. Mother excused it as protection, but I could feel the tension in Anna's body whenever he entered the room. Then came the day Anna fainted in the field while helping me gather firewood. I thought she was just tired, but when she whispered to me later that night, her voice shaking with fear, I knew the truth. She told me everything. About Father's late-night visits, about his threats, about how he made her believe nobody would ever know. And then, with tears in her eyes, she told me she was pregnant. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run to Mother to demand justice, to believe she would fight for us. But when we told her, her reaction was worse than Father's crime. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. Instead, she sat in silence, her eyes calculating, her lips pressed into a thin line. Finally she spoke. "We'll find someone who wants the baby. A child like that. It can still bring us something useful." Her words sliced through me like a blade. Our mother wasn't going to save us. She was going to profit from Anna's pain. That night, as Anna cried herself to sleep beside me, I swore I would protect her. But what could two girls do against their own parents? You'll see how the walls closed in tighter, the threats grew louder, and how a plan began to form. A plan that would end with us running into the darkness with nothing but each other. The days that followed were filled with dread. Mother spoke less and less to us, always whispering with strangers when she thought we weren't listening. Father grew more impatient, his temper quick to flare. And Anna, she grew weaker. The weight of her secret pressed on her fragile body, and I feared she wouldn't survive long enough for us to escape. One evening, I overheard Mother speaking with a woman in the kitchen. I pressed my ear against the wooden door, my heart racing. "She's due in a few months," Mother said flatly. "You'll get the baby, we'll get the money. It's better this way." I staggered back, my stomach twisting. She wasn't just planning to sell the baby. She had already found someone willing to take it. When I told Anna, she broke down completely. "We can't let them do this," she whispered, her voice hoarse from crying. "We have to leave." But leaving was easier said than done. Father kept the doors locked at night, the windows barred. We were trapped. For days I pretended to go about my chores, but inside I was planning. I memorized the sound of the keys jingling at Father's side. I studied which floorboards creaked and which stayed silent. And slowly a plan took shape. The night finally came when Father drank too much and fell asleep by the fire. The keys slipped from his pocket, and I grabbed them with trembling fingers. My heart thundered as I tiptoed past him, every breath caught in my throat. I unlocked the door, then shook Anna awake. "It's now or never," I whispered. We slipped out into the night. The air was cold, and the world was silent except for our hurried footsteps. But as we ran, every shadow seemed alive, every sound a threat. And in the distance I thought I heard something, a door creaking open, footsteps following. Had Father discovered we were gone? I'll tell you what happened when we realized we weren't alone on that road, and how fear turned into a fight for survival in the dead of night. We ran until our lungs burned, our bare feet raw against the dirt road. The moon was our only light, casting eerie shadows that seemed to chase us. Anna clutched her belly as she stumbled, and I grabbed her hand to steady her. We couldn't stop. Not now. But then behind us I heard it, a voice. A man's voice, low and furious, calling our names. My blood ran cold. Father had woken up. We ducked into the woods, branches scratching our skin as we pushed through the darkness. Anna whimpered, each sound too loud, too dangerous. I pulled her close, whispering, "Quiet. Just a little further." We hid behind a cluster of trees, our bodies pressed against the rough bark, listening as footsteps crunched on the path. Father's shadow passed by, his lantern casting a dim glow. He muttered curses under his breath, searching for us like a hunter stalking prey. I held Anna's trembling hand, praying he wouldn't find us. Minutes felt like hours until finally, his footsteps faded. We didn't dare move until the night was silent again. When we finally stumbled out of the woods, we reached the edge of the village. Lights flickered in the distance, the promise of safety pulling us forward. But safety was never guaranteed. Not when Father was searching. Not when Mother had already sold the future growing inside Anna. We had escaped the house, but not the danger. And the worst was yet to come. I'll reveal what happened when we reached for help, the betrayal we faced even outside our home, and the final decision that changed our lives forever. The village was quiet as we crept toward it, exhaustion weighing us down. I thought if we reached the church, the priest would help us. Surely, someone would protect two terrified girls running from the devil in their own home. We knocked on the wooden doors until our fists ached. Finally, the priest opened, his eyes widening at the sight of us. We spilled the truth, or at least as much as we could without collapsing from fear. His face hardened with sorrow, and he ushered us inside. But safety was fleeting. The next morning, I overheard whispers among the villagers. Some pitied us, others judged us, and a few wanted us gone. The shame of our story was too heavy for them. They feared scandal more than they valued our lives. The priest, however, kept his word. He arranged for us to leave the village, to stay with relatives in another town far away. We left before Father could find us, before Mother could sell Anna's unborn child. We never returned home. Anna carried her baby to term, and though her heart was broken, she chose love over shame. She kept the child, and together we built a new life. It was not easy. The scars never left us. But we survived. And survival, in the face of betrayal, is its own kind of victory. Now, as I sit here decades later, I carry the lesson deep in my soul. Family is not always defined by blood. Sometimes, family is the one who runs with you in the night, who holds your hand when the world turns against you. And sometimes, survival means walking away from the ones who should have loved you most. If you followed this story until the end, don't let it be wasted. Share it. Talk about it, like and subscribe for more. Remember that silence is what allows evil to thrive. And above all, never ignore the signs. Because sometimes the ones we trust most are the ones we need to escape.